Hello everybody, Eric again. Like and subscribe. Here we go. Let's continue on reading about the 11th millennium BC. Beginnings of agriculture. The Clementwise inventory is a member of the Magdalenian Techno-Complex according to a typological examination. The frequency of the basic tool groups, end scrapers, barons, truncated pieces, backed pieces, performators, and combined tools is most closely matched by that in Moravian inventories, which J.K. dated to Horizon 2 of the Magdalenian culture in Central Europe, and to the end of the 13th, circa 15 Ka, or 1495 BP, to early 11th millennium BC. The presence of arch-backed blades may contest the dating of the entire inventory of the Bling interstatal. It is necessary to re-elevate the circumstances surrounding the formation of sedentary farming communities in southeast Turkey in light of the discovery of a native Paleolithic tradition. While the construction traditions were distinct, the establishment of sedentary populations during the Younger Dryas period here is similar to that of the Levant during the Natufian. The precise rule that the intricate interactions between indigenous advancements and cross-regional cultural interchange played in the surprisingly early flowering of sedentary societies in Upper Mesopotamia in the 11th and 10th millennium BC is still unknown. Barley first appeared in the Anatolian Peninsula between the 8th and 7th millennium BC. Traces of its cultivation can be found in Europe between the 6th and 5th millennium BC. And evidence of its wild form dates to between the 12th and 11th millennium BC. Over the next few centuries, barley spread throughout a significant portion of Europe. The most prevalent architectural features in Lower Kurdistan are mud brick walls and facades, which are also seen in the most researched archaeological sites, such as Chermel, 7th millennium BC, and Bastane-sur, 11th millennium BC. These climatic and material traits have persisted and are now crucial components of regionally variable adaptation. They have characterized archaeological tools from the Nutian period to the late pre-pottery Neolithic B period, from the 11th to the late 8th millennium BC, using these experimental measures in a number of Near Eastern sites. According to scientific research, the Middle Euphrates was most likely the site of wild cereal cultivation in the 11th millennium BC. Several stages of this change can be identified when considering gloss texture analysis in conjunction with existing archaeobotanical data in Northern Trans, 12th millennium BC. Unripe harvesting predominates, which suggests that wild grains and natural stands are being exploited. It is possible that human societies were already taking advantage of partially managed cereal fields that permitted the harvesting of plants in the semi-ripe stage, in addition to harvesting natural stands, based on the discovery of semi-ripe and unripe cereal cutting in the Middle Euphrates during the 11th millennium BC. Several stages of this change can be identified by combining the existing archaeobotanical data with gloss texture analysis. The prevalence of immature harvesting in Orem Torrents, 12th millennium BC, suggests that wild grains were being used in their natural stands. The finding of semi-ripe and unripe cereal cutting in the Middle Euphrates during the 11th millennium BC implies that human societies may have begun to utilize early managed cereal fields, which permitted the harvesting of semi-ripe plants in addition to natural stands. Harvesting near-ripe semi-green wild grains at the 23,000-year-old Othello II site using the traditional qualitative use-where approach fits well with the evidence for the site's earliest known cereal cultivation, the authors say. The comparison of the ecological and experimental gloss, however, does not support the identification of the activity, because no trials on harvesting grown wild grains were included in the study's reference collection. Furthermore, it is impossible to determine the exact type of plant that was harvested from the archaeological artifacts because of the poor development of the use where polished. At Othello II, wild cereal extraction is well documented. However, other well-known ethnographical methods of collection, including as hand plucking, beating and uprooting could have been employed instead of harvesting. Sickle harvesting. Sickles are an indicator of the intensification of cereal exploitation that, as far as we currently know, started during the Natufian period, when glass tools are relatively common in archaeological sites and allow for the quick collection of cereals in the field, given close spacing of the stems and fairly similar stage of mortality. Bye for now.